some of the bots. So maybe you're getting unfairly claimed and you shouldn't be getting claimed. There's a couple things you can do. So really there's the visual bots, there's sound bots, and so those are things that you want to kind of get around if you're having issues with it. This is something you can do. This is kind of a last resort type thing. You don't really want to be resorting to methods like this, but I just thought I'd throw it in just so you at least know. Okay, so like for a visual bot, some of the things that you can do is you can just simply zoom in a little bit. So like you'll see like some people, and I don't recommend this, will upload like full Family Guy episodes, and what they'll do is you'll notice that it'll be zoomed in a little bit, and that's to get around filters. And sometimes like every minute they'll zoom in for a couple seconds, and so that's something they do to get around kind of that visual bot, which is pretty interesting, right? Another thing that you can do to get around some visual bots is add in some filters. So we can go back to the effects here. And get out of here. So you just click this and then go back to show all if you get stuck in there at all. And then we can add some sort of color thing. So we can go to color grading right here and then bring that down like that. And then we can do like hue shift. And if you bring that into the clip you want it on, like that one right there. And so then we can literally mess with the hue shift. And there's tons of different filters you can play with, but this kind of stuff can help you get around like some of the visual bots. So between zooming in a little bit and then changing the filters on it a little bit, and there's tons of different filters you can mess with. This is just an example. And then you can change the color of it, which is kind of going to make things look a little different. So it's not going to be a full duplication, right? So another thing that you can do is add in effects. So if you want to add in effects and do a transition between scenes, you can click effects right here. And then if you go down to like color grading, or if you go down right here to transitions video, and then you click that and bring them down, you can do different things. So you can like fade to color. So if you grab this and pull it to the end of this last clip here, you can add in a fade to color. And we'll just say it turns orange. And now it should fade to orange as it comes out. With 0.4 of a second remaining. And so as you can see, that faded into orange. And so you can do that for anything you want to do here. So you can go like effects again. So say instead of that, we undo that, Control Z, get rid of that effects. And then we could do like a motion one where maybe it slides out. So now we will go ahead and grab that, put that right at the end there. And then it should do a slide out transition. With 0.4 of a second remaining. So as you can see, it slid out and did a transition. So that's another thing that you can do as well. Another thing you can do is speed up. So you can right click on the clip and you can hit speed. And if you speed it up by just a little bit, that was way outside the arc. So as you can see, it's barely noticeable. So if you do like 2-3% speed boost, that's going to kind of get around some of the voice filters. So if, you know, maybe the voice bot is getting hit because like of the commentary or music or whatever, if you speed it up just a little bit, sometimes it can get by the bots. And again, this isn't foolproof. This isn't something that works all the time. It's just something that works sometimes. So it's something that you can try. It's not a way that you should build your channel or anything like that, but it's just something I thought I'd show you guys how you can kind of speed up the sound a little bit to get around sound bots, to zoom in a little bit or change the filters a little bit to get around screen bots and things like that. And so say there's like a watermark and there's a video you want to use, but they have a watermark on it, a couple different things you can do. So say this scorecard right here is actually a bot. So you can zoom in and then, so you can zoom in on it just like this until it gets rid of it. So say that that was a watermark you wanted to get rid of. If it makes sense, you could zoom in and then do that. Or another thing you could do is just cover it up with your own. So another thing you could do is if that was a watermark and you wanted to get rid of it, you could literally just put your own watermark right over it. Whatever's on top is what's going to be showing. So like if I want a watermark over top of this clip, I have to make sure it's over top of it like that. And I have to make sure I'm on the right part of the timeline where it's going to overdo it. So as you can see, this is what's on top. And then if I make it smaller, then you can see what's under it, which is this. All right, so then if I want to cover the watermark, all right, so say that's the watermark, so we want to cover that up, you literally can just do that, and now you could put your own watermark over it. So those are some things you can do if you want to just make some quick edits. So that should cover pretty much everything there is about editing. That's not foolproof. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you'll still get hit by the bots. It really is dependent on the video that you're using and the niches you're in and things like that. But this is definitely not a way to build a channel. You used to be able to build channels like this back in 2015, 2016. Even 2017, 2018, it was still working a little bit, but YouTube's definitely getting smarter. So this isn't the kind of thing that works all the time or anything. Not a way to build your channel or anything by getting around bots and things like that, but it is something that can be effective, so I thought I would throw this in as well. The thing that I want to mention here is that when we're doing this editing, getting around bots and things like that, it's only to be used if you're being unfairly claimed by bots, and you shouldn't be, and things like that. So because a lot of big companies actually have like a software that they upload their videos in, or movies and things like that. Like big companies will have these softwares where they can run their videos through them, and then YouTube will scan all of YouTube to see if there's any matches, and so that's where those bot matches kind of come into play. And so normally it'll only do that if it's over 13 seconds. So one thing I say is definitely try to keep any clips that you're using from other videos under 13 seconds. If you can't, this is where some of these things can help you and come into play. There are some channels, big channels out there like Quantum Tech HD, that will actually do like 5-minute clips, and they don't have any trouble with copyright. So again, it's very, very dependent on your niche and the videos you're choosing and all of those sort of things. But this is not to be used to, skirt around YouTube's guidelines or trick them or anything like that. This is literally just if you're being unfairly claimed and you need to use this clip for any reason in your video. These are some things that can help you get around it, but always make sure that you are sticking to the YouTube terms of use and terms of service, so that you're always making sure that your channel will stay within stay within the guidelines. But try to keep your clips under 13 seconds if you can. If not, you can try to do more, and if you have the rights to use the video, it shouldn't be an issue. If it is, this is where some of these editing things can help you as well. One thing you can do to really break up those clips, so if you have a clip that's 1 minute, 2 minutes that you need to use to get your point across in the video or whatever it is, try to add a lot of pictures in there. So basically break up the clips with some pictures that you put in, and then you can pan those pictures or zoom those pictures or whatever you want to do that I showed you how to do. And so the more pictures you can add in, and I'm going to show you a bunch of royalty-free pictures and videos that you can get here coming up. But if you add in some of those pictures and things like that, that will help break up the clips and then make it so it won't get hit, to make sure that you're staying within the fair use guidelines, which is usually around 13 seconds is going to be okay within a video. So just some things to keep in mind there as we move along. But now you should know pretty much everything you need to know about kind of how to put videos together. And so now I'm going to talk about where you can actually go to get royalty-free clips that you can put into these editors, as well as some other different editors that you can actually use to help you build your videos as well. And so now you should know how to do pretty much everything. You should know how to put videos together, how to grab multiple clips, put those together, how to zoom in on pictures and videos, how to get rid of the sound, how to put your own sound on there. So now you could record your voice through like a phone app, and we'll talk more about this later as well. Or use your computer and a microphone on like an app called Audacity. A software called Audacity that you could use as well to record your voice, and then you would just plop that file right in just the way you did before, and you could put your voice over it. So you know how to do pretty much everything that you need to do, as well as kind of get around some of the bots. So I'm going to show you where you can get some other royalty-free clips that a lot of other huge channels use that you can be using as well. And so we're going to talk about that in the next one.